our talk, our conversation. That's why he said, whatever we do in word or deed, it is to be done in the power of the Holy Ghost. We find here that the gospel, when it is preached in the power of the Holy Ghost, he often convicts and enrages people. John 16:7-11, it tells us when the Holy Ghost comes, he will convict the world of sin, of righteousness, and of judgment. Of sin because they don't believe in me. Righteousness because I go to the Father and you see me no more. Judgment because the prince of this world is judged. Now let's look at the context here. The Bible tells us that Stephen was brought up before the council because he was talking about Jesus. So he didn't try to defend himself, but he was talking about Jesus. Not only that, but the Bible tells us what was the effect of his death. Stephen's death was not in vain because he was talking about Jesus. The Bible tells us he talked so forcefully and so convincingly that the people began to try to stop hearing him, plug up their ears, ran upon him. The Bible said began to gnash upon him with their teeth. So what was the results? What was the effect? There were some, we call it sometimes indirect or direct effects that took place. First of all, the Bible tells us in Acts 7:55 and 56 that God was glorified. Let's look and see what it says here. 55 and 56 said, but he, being full of the Holy Ghost, that's Stephen, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing on the right hand of God. Somebody said, how do I know God was glorified? The Bible tells us when Jesus Christ finished his work, he went to heaven and he took a seat. He sat down. But because of the testimony of Stephen, the Bible tells here he was standing up. It was as if he was saying, go on, talk, son. Keep on talking about me. Keep on preaching about me. Keep on telling them about me. You have my consent. Go on, do what you're doing. So when we are witnessing in the power of the Holy Ghost, the Bible tells us we are not alone. Did not Jesus say that he will be with us always, even to the end of the world? That was in the commission. He said, go into all the world, preach this gospel to every creature. He that believes and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not shall be condemned. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world. That's why we know that Stephen was preaching in the power of the Holy Ghost, because Jesus was there with him. Jesus is the Holy Ghost himself. He is the Holy Ghost in spirit form. So God was glorified. Number two, you find here is Philip the evangelist. The tool that Philip had was because of the persecution of the church. Because what happened to Stephen, the Bible said Saul was threatening and putting people in prison. And you find here Stephen, he goes on his evangelistic tour. Acts 8:4-40. And the Bible said as they went, they preached the gospel. They were talking about Jesus. Number three, Paul, who were first called Saul, he find his conversion. Acts 9:1-30. I think it's about 3 times in the Acts that Paul gives his testimony about his conversion. And it's very interesting. You go there and do a study on Paul's testimony. And we know parts of it. Paul said, I was on my way to Damascus, and about 12 o'clock there came a light from heaven shining around about me, knocked me down from my beast, and I heard a voice in the Hebrew tongue saying, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Saul said, who art thou, Lord? The answer was, I am Jesus. Why are you kicking against the prick? Then Saul said, well, Lord, what will you have me to do? He said, go on down to Damascus. That's where you started. Go on down to Damascus, and there will be told you what you must do. That was Paul's conversion. So this was an effect that Saul and Stephen had on these people's life. Number 4, Peter's missionary tour. If you look at Acts 9:32 through 11:18, you're going to find again that the same thing happened because of what happened here with Stephen. Peter goes on his missionary tour, and we know what happened there. Many things took place. We know about the house of Cornelius being saved because of what happened here to Stephen. Number 5, the church in Antioch in Syria was founded. Acts 11:19. Check that out. You're going to find out again, the Bible said, as they went, they began to preach the gospel. After Saul was